In this video, I'll show you how to wire up the W900 series controller, specifically a conductivity sensor and a motorized ball valve. Inside you'll see we have the input-output slots with the input-output cards. There's 4 slots. Each one can take 1 card. This particular controller has 2 cards. One is for 2 direct sensors. The other is for 2 analog inputs and 4 analog outputs. Below you have the terminal strips, and each terminal strip or block corresponds with the input-output board directly above it. So if you have these 2 sensor inputs here, you wire them up down here directly below them. And on the side here are all the relays. And this particular controller has powered relays and also has a pulse output. But for this video, we'll be wiring up the powered relays and one of the sensor inputs, the connectivity sensor. When wiring up the connectivity sensor, it's important to wire it in the correct location in the terminal blocks. This is input-output slot number 1, and I have the dual sensor input card. So the connectivity sensor will be wired into the terminal blocks directly below. The block on top is TB1A. The block below is TB1B. So this would be channel 1 and channel 2 for this card's 2 sensor inputs. And since I want my connectivity sensor to be sensor 1, I'll wire it into TB1A, the top block. Now the connectivity sensor will have a red, black, green, and white wire along with a grounding shield. Now I'll refer to the instructions on wiring. The red wire goes to input 5, the black to 7, and the temperature wires, the green and the white wires, will go to 9 and 10 with the shield going on 11. And since this will be my sensor input 1, we'll wire this up into channel 1. Now in the controller, I'll be wiring to TB1A right here. So the red and the black, I said, go to 5 and 7. So you'll see 5 here and 7 where the red and the black will go. The temperature wires, the green and the white, will go to 9 and 10. And then the shield of the ground wire will go to 11. So what I'll do is I'll take this sensor, I'll take the sensor wires, maybe kind of narrow them up, and then I'm going to put them through this connector down here and then wire them to the board. So now we look inside the controller. You see I have the red on 5, the black on 7, and the 2 temp wires, the green and the white, on 9 and 10, and the shield or the ground on 11. So these are the wires. This is the cable from the connectivity sensor, and these are the wires that are wired into TB1A, which corresponds to the sensor input. After you wire, before you close up the controller to program and to calibrate, make sure you replace the protective covers. And now you can turn the unit back on and we can do some programming.